Okay, so according to Scott Iguma, who the activist who has been on the case of P1 and most of their clients who haven't gotten their allocations and all that. So in his report from his hearing with the House of Rep committee, in his final report, he said the EFCC said they would like to transfer the case to the police. Well, it shows you a reality of the country we are living in and the kind of institutions that are running in Nigeria. Now, in this particular case, I'm not surprised. Scott Iguma, in his comments, is trying to compare the activities of the EFCC with Yahoo Boys and how they easily arrest and prosecute Yahoo cases with Yahoo Boys and all that. But when it comes to issues of high-profile politicians, they seem to jitter. The reason is not far-fetched. It's very simple. The EFCC is not a money-making entity. The EFCC is not a money-making commission. It's a commission set up by the government, funded by the government on a yearly budget. So there are cases that are high-profile cases, and there are cases that are low-profile cases, like that of the Yahoo Boys and all that. In fact, I believe that there are so many cases of Yahoo Boy cases that at the end of the day, EFCC are still unable to prosecute. So what am I saying? With the case of P1, they might have looked at it and say, look, this is a high-profile case, a very complex case. To me, honestly, it's a complex case because the truth is, P1 is a group that has so many subsidiaries, and all these subsidiaries has investors. And for you to finally or conclusively handle this case and prosecute the case, I tell you, in the next probably 1 year or 1.5 years, this case have not concluded. And these court hearings and injunctions is money. EFCC is money. EFCC have to pay lawyers, filing of cases. I think the last time I checked, to file a case here in a court is 100,000 minimum. To file is 100,000. To stamp, I think it's 150,000. To stamp, just stamping and filing, you're looking at 250 to 300,000. Just ordinary case. So now in Nigerian law court, that's normal magistrate court or high court. I'm not talking about appeal court. I'm not talking about Supreme Court. So they might have looked at this case and said, okay, the budgets and the money, how much it will cost them to handle the case is enormous. Look at the case of Yayabolu. Since over how many months they've been going back and forth. So it's difficult to execute high-profile cases because of the funding and the constant court injunctions and how will I put it? There's this term I'm looking for. Pushing the case forward. Let me use that word. So all this adjournment. At the end of the day, is money. You have to pay a lawyer for hearing, for sitting in court, and all that. So it causes a lot of logistics nightmare for the EFCC, for the commission itself. Yeah, they've been able to execute high-profile cases. Some, not all, but if I'm going to look at the EFCC and say the number of high-profile cases they've been able to execute vis-a-vis the number of Yahoo Boys cases, I will give them like 10%. 10% of high-profile cases. 10%. So what happened to the remaining 90%? Either the cases are still on. I can tell you there are high-profile cases that are still with the EFCC that are still running close to 5 years. Yes. Some 2 years, some 3 years. Take, for instance, somebody like Akpabio. Before he became the Senate president, he had issues with the EFCC. Somebody like former Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano, he has case with the EFCC. You want to tell me that those cases have been solved? No. So these are the things. So it berates the situation of the country, the institutions, and the commission, And based on the report of Scott Iguma, he said they have been faced with a lot of public ridicule. Yes, because you can't be a commission that fights crime and corruption and yet you're unable to execute cases, or probably the people see you as a commission that is selective. You are quick to prosecute Yahoo boys, but you're not quick to prosecute high-profile political cases. So definitely, you'll be subject to ridicule. So the onus now lies on the commission to say, look at it and say, okay, take the bull by the horn and say, okay, fine. This case, we have to look into it and use this case to do what? To save our face. Use this case to win back the trust of the people. I think that's what they should have done, but to their own interest, to their best knowledge, or to their own reasons, they decided to do it that way. If, quote and unquote, if the report by Scott Iguma is true. But notwithstanding, because I wasn't there, other people, this is just a report. So I'm just giving my own analysis and views on how the whole situation goes. So, but for now, well, it's funny and it's a shame. Well, God help us.